Come on.
Okay guys, so welcome back. I'm sorry it's been a while. I've been making other projects and working and finally got around to making something again. So yeah, what we have here is three 196cc sort of Honda GX sort of style engines. We're going to bolt them together and turbo it. Oh yes, I've got a neat little turbo off a transit van. I'm not sure which mark transit van it is, but tiny little thing. It's got a tiny little impeller housing here, so it should spool up fairly quickly. Hopefully that'll work. So they're all roughly going to be sat like this. I'm going to scrunch them up a bit closer, but I'm going to keep them all as sort of individual engine units, so I can keep the cooling as part of it. I can keep the flywheel on there, so that I can get a spark easily, and all the timing of the battles and malarkey, blah blah blah. But yeah, I think that'll make it a lot easier and a lot quicker. So what I've got to do is shorten up that shaft so it's about 1 inch long, and then make up these adapter sort of boss things with a plate in between, that will sort of act as like a UJ but not a UJ, with very limited sort of motion. Okay, so I've finally finished my couplings. They consist of two halves basically. One joins to the flywheel and the other one joins to the output shaft. So I ground 3 spots on the shaft here, and then you've got 3 bolts here like big grub screws, and they will hold it nice and firm on the output shaft. And then where these two couplings meet together in the middle, we've got this sort of pin raised up section there, and that fits perfectly in there. So it lines the engines up real nicely. And then in between those two, we've got this thinner plate. I think it's 1.6 mil. And basically 2 bolts hold it to one side, and then the other 2 bolts hold it to the other side. And that sort of allows it to flex a little tiny bit, like it was a UJ of sorts. But because it's got no moving components, it can transmit all of the torque nicely, and there's no shake in the 2 couplings. Alright, so now they're all in line, or as straight as I can get them on the chassis there. It's just time to actually build the engines, do the oil sensor block and the governor thing. And yeah, for all intents and purposes, the making bit is done. Let's just put it together now. Alright, so I built up my 3 engines here with some questionable techniques, and I've joined them together with the little joiner thingies in there, and I've timed it at the moment so that number 1 here, the piston comes up first here, then comes up here a third of a turn later, then a third of a turn later. It's that one. But when it actually fires, the firing order will be in reverse because there'll be 2/3 of a rotation between the firing strokes. So to time it up, I'm just going to take off the valve covers again and just watch that either the inlet or the exhaust, see when that one opens, rotate it 2/3, make sure this one opens, then rotate another 2/3, and then make sure that one opens. If one of them's out, rather than uncouple it and turn it around, I'm just going to lift the whole engine up and then rotate one of the engine segments. Alright, good. So now I can just bolt it down, bolt it to the chassis. It should be fairly in line. I might sort of bolt it down slack and then pull it over a few times and let it settle and then do the bolts up a bit. And I think for now we'll just set up 3 individual carbs. See if it runs. Oh yes. Okay, so we've got all the engines bolted together on the chassis with the couplings there, all the carburetors are on for now. I'm going to bring an inlet manifold up and an exhaust manifold up to tie into the turbo in the next episode, but just for now I just put 3 carburetors on here with springs on there just to return them all to idle, and hopefully I'm just going to put the choke on. They will tee together with the fuel line. It might just work. It might just blow up. Let's have a go. Come on. Oh! Come on. Come on, beauty. Oh. Come on. Oh! Oh! Yeah! Well, that's good. Come on. Alright, so it runs. The old T-piece broke there, I think it melted with the fuel. But yeah, apart from that, that was a pretty successful run. I reckon I'll call it a night tonight, because it's getting late out. I think we'll come back to it tomorrow, I'll get a better run out of it, and yeah, make some tunes. Okay, so I've temporarily made a throttle linkage out of the old governor arms, and just screwed them straight in the carburetor plastic bit there with a drywall screw. That seems to work alright.
So.
Okay.
got to be one of the loudest things.
That is, yeah, incredibly loud.
It's good call.
It's like a Sherman tank. Oh, that's the nuts. So there you go, guys. She is a peach. Like, comment, and subscribe. And comment what you think I should put it in. Tune in next time for the turbo. See you later.